we're managing millions of homes, which are probably the most personal thing that an individual citizen could ever, the biggest investment they'll ever make in their lifetime.
I'm sure like a lot of other management companies, most folks get into this business because they love service. And ultimately, when you're, as you said, you're serving people where they live, their largest investment, where they're raising their family, where they sleep at night, all of those things. I'd like to add, I'm excited to hear that some smaller companies are joining, because I believe, I have the good opportunity to talk to a fair amount of companies around the country, as we can try to continue to grow and look for partners. And what I find is, regardless of the size of the company, some of the major issues right now in this industry are common, right? I mean, in terms of, estoppel or questionnaire issues, deferred maintenance, finding employees, that can provide great service. And so, managing client expectations from boards, particularly those that might have a portfolio manager. And so, I think, as you mentioned, we have a lot of competitive companies in this industry, a lot of high quality companies that provide great service. But regardless of size, it seems that those issues seem to be common among us, and where we can appropriately gather and talk about those things and use you as a resource, it only helps us all, to improve. There is an absolute difference in how we're getting support in Tallahassee now than when I came on 7 years ago. And that difference is impacting the industry, particularly business owners, in a very positive way. And that's going to be important as we start to, face some really challenging things ahead. I think we all expected to see some real legislation come out of, this last session based on the tragic events down in Surfside. And while I support it, and I think one day having the appropriate legislation happen is a good thing, but I think some of what you're doing, Mark, and your team is doing is also giving the appropriate legislatures pause to go, let's do this the right way. So we appreciate you giving the legislators reason, take pause, let's do it the right way. And the same thing needs to happen with the estoppel discussion that's coming up. This one's going to be critical for us. There's, last year with some of the things like the notice of late assessment, is it perfect? No, but it's procedural and we'll get through it. And, companies adjusted. The estoppel one has a significant potential economic impact that companies that have come to rely on that revenue, as one of their profit centers, it could truly be impacted. And so having an advocate like you and your team, having folks that have experienced the work that you've done and seen the difference of where we are as an industry is important. And I hope folks will continue to appreciate that. It's, regardless of what industry you're in,
right.
Because I've owned some businesses in other industries. If you're not focused on what's going on, legislation can get away from you. And all of a sudden you're having to react and change how you do business, how you hire people, the economics of your business. And, I'd sure hate to be the other side of, I'm going to sit back and watch. And then all of a sudden, collectively enough people sat back and watched and bad things happen.
Yeah.